right, so let's go live. We are talking real estate like we do every Monday at noon. I'm John Crutchfield. Glad to have you jumping on here wherever you're listening to this. Today, we're going to talk about three real estate strategies that are still working in 2025. And so hopefully you're doing real estate deals. Hopefully you are involved in the space. And I'd be glad to meet you if I haven't already, wherever you're listening to this. Just find us all over the internet at Grab the Map. Instagram at Grab the Map, and then Facebook, you can find Grab the Map as well. So let's jump right in and talk about three real estate strategies that are still working in 2025. And let's just get to it. All right. So we are in a very interesting time in the real estate market right now. For those of you who are following the news, it is early 2025. And in early 2025, some interesting things are going on politically right now. We just swore in a new president of the United States. We also have a Fed that has lowered interest rates going into 2025, but has said that they are not going to lower interest rates for the remainder of 2025. Very unlikely that we will see rate decreases. We are also seeing right now in the real estate market that prices are generally holding. Sellers are not super motivated to have to move for a variety of reasons. Number one, probably the most important reason sellers are not itching to move is that a lot of sellers bought their properties with historically low interest rates. So they are owning their home and their payment is fairly low. They can afford their payment. And if they move and try to buy another home, it's very likely that they would have to downgrade in home. Interest rates have raised. And so that means that their payment would be higher and they would have to have less home. That's the environment that we're in. However, there are some strategies that are still working for real estate investors that are active and constantly looking to transactions, constantly looking to level up their portfolios. And so we want to talk about that. The first strategy that is still working right now to find motivated sellers who need to sell and to make offers to them. That strategy is still working. It means that if you find people that have a motivation to sell, I'm divorcing my spouse, I don't want to stay in the house with her, right? We might have to sell the house. If I'm a member that has inherited a property and it needs work, I probably don't want to do the work to that property. I want to sell it and get what I can and move on. If I am a landlord that is getting older, right, and the property is not in the best condition, I'm still looking to sell that property and I'm probably willing to give up some of the equity of that property just to get rid of it. And we have a aging boomer population that owns a bunch of properties, y'all, and they are still willing to sell. So making cash offers is the number one strategy that's still working in 2025. Might be making cash offers to situations with people that are inheriting property. You might be making cash offers to people that just have property that's in distress or the owner's in distress. The timing is right for you to make these offers, and people are still accepting these offers. It may cost you a little bit more money right now to borrow the money to buy these properties. Interest rates are a little bit higher, but if you're making the offers, we are still seeing deals come in for making cash offers. So the number one strategy that's still working in 2025 is to make cash offers to people who have a motivation to sell. And if you need help finding these motivated sellers or using coming up with strategies to find these people, that's what we teach inside of our 90-day challenges and our coaching offerings is how to find these motivated sellers, what to say to them, how to make offers to them. This is still working in 2025. The second strategy that I'm seeing a lot of opportunity with, by the way, some of the folks in the room right now, I think would agree with this. The second strategy that's still working in 2025 is finding people who don't have a ton of equity. They may have equity. We prefer equity. Again, for those of you that are new, is when you find people that owe less on the home than what the house is worth. Okay. When you find people that owe less on the house than what the house is worth, This strategy is still working in 2025. Okay. Then offer to take over the mortgages for these people. This strategy is still working. You can find somebody who, has a house that's worth 300,000. They're willing to sell the house for 200,000. And they're probably going to be motivated to get rid of the property. They just want to move on. They don't want to wait on a buyer. All of these are reasons why people sell their properties and maybe not get top dollar. This strategy still works right now. The reason this is interesting to you as an investor is because if you can secure lower interest and you can rent that out or find a lease purchase buyer for that property or find somebody that will pay you more for that property than you buy it for, you're getting to take advantage of the slower market conditions, sellers that may or may not be a little bit more motivated right now to sell their property and just move on. But you're also getting to take advantage of lower interest rates, getting to take advantage of lower interest rates than we can get right now in early 2025. So if you're listening to this in the past, this is early 2025. The average interest rate right now is around 7% for a homeowner. It's around 8.5% for an investor borrowing on commercial paper. You can secure a rate for 5% or 5.5% or 4.5%. A lot of people have 3.5% interest rates. It's really going to be your best opportunity to borrow money at those previously historically low interest rates. These deals are still out there. Okay. These people that want to move from a property and don't mind leaving their mortgage in place are still there. You can only find them if you're making offers, if you're getting them on the phone, if you're having conversations with them. You can find these on the MLS. Okay. You're probably going to have to pay a realtor commission if you're working the MLS. That's just part of the deal. Also find them off market, right? Before the realtors are getting their commission. And if you can do that, then you can often save on your upfront cost to get into these deals. We teach direct to seller marketing, but we also are doing some deals off market or on market as well. If you got a little bit of cash and you want to do some deals on market, this is a good time to be making offers where you're offering to take over or assume the seller's mortgage as a decrease your cost of capital and also still get some equity on transactions. Which leads to the third way right now. And I think I'm going to give y'all a bonus now that I'm thinking about it. Leads to the third way that real estate transactions are still happening in 2025. Cash flow is still very, very in 2025. Come in and the income be higher than your expenses. And platforms like Airbnb and Pad Split offering co-living opportunities is still working in 2025. So if you buy a property, and you fix it up, and you borrow against it, and it's in nice condition, it still makes sense right now if you can rent properties by the room or on a shorter term basis for more than you could normally get for them on a monthly basis. This is still working, okay? So in a lot of places, you can rent a bedroom, 4-bedroom house by the bedroom and make more money on a cash flow basis than you could if you rented that house on a monthly basis to one family. Okay. This is more work. There are services like Pad Split that offer to help you find the tenants and help you manage the property. There are property managers in place that will help you manage this. But this is something that this is in 5. You want to rent by the room. If you want to rent to traveling nurses for a little bit more, this is still working in 5. Okay. And then I'll give y'all a bonus. This is something that has been working for the last 5 years, and it still is working in 2025. Okay. And this is really looking at your market for opportunities to provide affordable housing, okay, to people that need housing in your community. Okay. Look for areas where you can provide affordable housing in your community to people who want to own their home. In our market, you can buy land, right, for a fixed price, and you can put mobile homes on that land. And once you set up mobile homes on that land, that property becomes valuable to a first-time home buyer, to somebody who wants a mobile home and some land. Maybe they want to be a little bit out of the city. That property still, you're able to increase the value of that property. You buy the land, buy the mobile home, put it there, make sure utilities are connected, make sure the property is in good condition. This is still working in five. Okay. A lot of times, you may be able to pick up a mobile home for 50, 60, $70,000. You may be able to pick up land, right, for much less if it's not improved yet, or if it's not developed. You develop that property by putting the mobile home on the land. Okay. And then you've increased the value of that asset. And you sell that to somebody interested in affordable housing. They're interested in their first home. They're interested in land outside of the city limits. They're interested in maybe owning a home, but they can't afford a traditional home right now when prices are staying high. This is still working in 2025. So I gave you 4 ways real estate investors are still investing in 2025. This is still working. This is something that I think you should highly consider if you are interested in real estate investing in 2025. The market is still working, right? We've got to be making offers. We've got to be talking to people looking for opportunity, and we've got to be taking massive action. If I can help you take massive action in 2025, all you got to do is find me, shoot me a DM, and we'll be glad to work with you. If you need a coach, reach out, and I'll be glad to talk you through that as well. All right, so if you're on Facebook, today we're going to log off because we're going to be checking in with people that are in the room. Check the comments underneath today. If you're on Facebook, we're going to log off, sign off. You can comment below if you have an interest. You have a comment about today's post, comment underneath it. Find us on YouTube. Find us on for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that.